We started out with a group of about 6 people and began an environmental audit. And then we began planning worship and celebrations. We had 4 services, Earth Day services. We published green news twice a year. And we focused on having a vigil in the fall for the mountains and people of Appalachia. Here's Mel Hoover, Rose Eddington, the Reverends from Charleston, and me. We also had a service called The Story of Your Food on Mother's Day. Nancy Hurlbrink was the person who gave the service, led the worship. And then we had a Mother Earth brunch afterwards on Mother's Day, which was, we fed over 250 people that day, and Katie and Jean here were the co-chairs. We did celebrate now and then, the wearing of the green. And we did do religious education. We had a tree program this year and a month-long program on the stewards of the earth last year. Here we have Worm Crusader and Rose Brown of Zero Garbage Challenge speaking at Mini Green Workshop and Earth Friendly Friday. Jean Botts with the Children's Project of Quilt and I Love Mountains Quilt. But our big project for eco-justice was mountaintop removal coal mining. We traveled to West Virginia in June of 2010, about 12 of us. We attended church with the congregation of Charleston in West Virginia. And then we began to advocate against mountaintop removal. We began an eco-justice project, a local one, with our trees because we have such a wonderful variety of trees on our campus. Al Reynolds had cataloged them. We made a pamphlet. The children had already studied them, and we had pictures and tours, and even I did give a sacred tree talk. Here is our sign created by Ron Wormser, and there was more advocacy. We continue to advocate. 350.org. Here we are in Richmond at one of the senator's offices, advocating against mountaintop removal with others. Here we are in D.C. This is Sally Kate and Katie up there in November, and protesting the pipeline going through the middle of America. Here, Glenn and Ruth Douglas and I are at a rally against mountaintop removal in D.C. This is our sustainability covenant, which we passed in June of 2010, but we're just getting around to taking out to all the councils and decision makers. And we've been working a long time on sustainability, particularly energy efficiency. And ethical eating was one of our major emphasis. This is a sheep farm we visited in Nelson County in spring of 2010. We also had these compost bins built. Charlotte Balkenbush led a tour of Bel Air Farm CSA in Albemarle County. We are a congregation that respects the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. In 2012, the UUA awarded us the Green Sanctuary Certificate. Since then, there have been 3 more major efforts to green our buildings when there was an infusion of money. First, that same spring, our solar rooftop was approved by the board based on a $25,000 stimulus fund grant from the federal government. You will see the before and after rooftop and solar array. Second, in December that same year, the U House property we owned, which is across the street, was subdivided and sold, with the proceeds dedicated to making major renovations to Summit House and the sanctuary lower level. These improvements were prioritized by the Facilities Task Force using the guidance from the environmental audit as well as other expert opinions. The sale netted us $486,000. Improvements to the 146-year-old Summit House were primarily about structural integrity and mold remediation. The sanctuary lower hall was renovated also, including stabilization of the retaining walls, shown here, new bathrooms, lighting, ceiling, room partitions, HVAC, storage areas, and the installation of an elevator, which made us ADA compliant at last. That's a before picture. And this is an after picture of half of the lower level room, which is a children's area in one area and a nice large open meeting space, well lit, in the other area. These were before and after pics. But wait, we weren't done yet. In September 2018, Glenn Short, a founding member of the Environmental Action Committee, died, leaving a large endowment trust to renovate the sanctuary with environmental awareness, which was his way of continuing his environmental action service. Glenn chose the renovation projects, and Dick Summer worked with contractors along with Don Landis and Sally Taylor to assure that improvements conform with Glenn's environmental mission, as well as beautifying and repairing the main sanctuary building, the foyer, the parlor, and upstairs classrooms. All the HVAC was upgraded to the best possible for a cost of $80,000. The original tile flooring had asbestos, and vinyl flooring replaced it in the sanctuary, the foyers, the comfort room, the landings, the classrooms, and the parlor at a cost of $20,000. Here are our beautiful new floors. A big-ass fan, that's the actual name of it, improved airflow in the sanctuary because now all heating comes from the ceiling, not the floor. Replacement front doors and windows have been ordered. As you can see, our windows in the sanctuary were single pane and had been a big-time energy loser, but the Neighborhood Historic Preservation Group would not allow us to install exterior storm windows, so interior storm windows were installed with double-pane windows in the comfort room. Glenn wanted light control, so also note the new powerful projector above was approved. Here you can see the front of the sanctuary. All of the painting, interior and exterior, utilized low VOC paint with less harmful fumes. Any place there was lead-based paint on the exterior gutters and window trim, lead remediation was required. These many improvements were the result of a team of UU members dedicated to transforming our buildings and grounds and willing to give their considerable gifts of time, talent, and money to accomplish the greening of our congregation. 3 of our stalwart environmentalists, Glenn Short, Mary Rose Curtis, and Katie Korish, pictured here with Johanna Woodchild, Sally Kate Park, and I, have since died, but they have left a beautiful legacy. In the process, we have all transformed ourselves into ministers for the earth and our congregation into a green sanctuary. Although it has taken over 15 years to complete our work, never underestimate what we can do when we work together.